Hello, everyone, and welcome to the intro for my series, Lessons in Alphabet Syndromes. If you are a frequenter of this series and would like to skip to the good stuff, go ahead and click to this timestamp in the video, and you'll be able to jump right in to the new lesson. If you are just discovering me and you're wondering what in the world are alphabet syndromes and who in the world is this guy, allow me to give you an introduction. My name is Chase Teagarden, and a little over 11 years ago, I was diagnosed with complex regional pain syndrome. This condition is dubbed one of the most painful conditions that a human could be diagnosed with. It is often called the incurable illness and invisible illness, or my least favorite, the disease. For 4 years, I suffered in pain, going to doctor after doctor trying to understand what was wrong with me. And I was met not only with no answers, but also with vitriol and statements like I was faking my pain, I was just looking for pills, and that I needed to just learn to live with it. That drove me to a very real point where I contemplated taking my own life, and thankfully, I did not do that. I was able to find my way out of pain, and since then, I've gone on to become a doctor of physical therapy, therapeutic pain specialist, and at the time of filming this intro, one of 60 fellows of pain science in the nation. I now help people all over the world overcome their alphabet syndromes, get out of pain, and move on with life. I was also diagnosed with other syndromes that I call alphabet syndromes, including chronic intractable migraines and ulcerative colitis. This series is my effort to educate everyone about alphabet syndromes, which is a term that I coined to describe a group of syndromes and diagnoses that follow a very similar pattern and I believe are all a result of the same problem. You see, what happens is throughout our life, through physical traumas, medical traumas, and emotional traumas, our nervous system becomes sensitized. It ratchets up until it reaches a breaking point. And past that breaking point of fight or flight nervous system sensitivity, we develop symptoms. These symptoms could be CRPS type symptoms, which is swelling of the foot, redness in the foot, hair and nail changes on the foot or hand or other part of your body, and extreme pain in those areas. And then we go to a doctor, and the doctor diagnoses us if those are our symptoms with complex regional pain syndrome. Another set of symptoms that we could have is pain in along the distribution of the trigeminal nerve. And we go to the doctor, and the doctor says, oh, that's the trigeminal nerve. You have nerve pain, neuralgia. So therefore, you have trigeminal neuralgia. Same thing with the pudendal nerve. This is a lower nerve on our body, and you have pain in this area, usually the rectum or groin area, and you go to the doctor after your nervous system has been ramped up through physical, medical, or emotional traumas, and you're diagnosed with pudendal neuralgia. A lot of different algias, itises, and syndromes are things that fall into the category of alphabet syndromes. I'll put a list on screen here as an example, but you will often see on social media web pages that these syndromes are diagnosed together. So, for example, one might start out with complex regional pain syndrome and then be diagnosed with POTS, MCAS, FND, AMPS, fibromyalgia. You name it, you might develop these different symptoms as your nervous system continues to ratchet up, and then you're diagnosed with an alphabet syndrome. It is my theory that through calming the nervous system through a variety of different exercises, which you'll learn in this weekly series, you can overcome or at least reduce greatly a lot of the symptoms of these syndromes. Okay. So I hope that this series is helpful to you from me as a pain specialist to help you understand what is happening to you and how a lot of what doctors have said about these conditions is flat out wrong. An interchangeable term that I would give alphabet syndromes from a doctor's perspective is I don't know disease. The doctors don't know, and so they assign a label, and then you're left kind of in limbo for what could be months or even years. I myself, having been diagnosed with CRPS, chronic intractable migraines, and ulcerative colitis, I was told that these were incurable, that I would have to take medications for the rest of my life. And today, I am proud to say I don't have any pain or symptoms, nor do I take medications. I eat whatever I want. I enjoy life in the ways that I want, and I want that very same thing for you. So, this is going to be a free series where every single Wednesday and sometimes Sundays, you will see me working with one of my many clients from all over the world, including Thailand, Scotland, Switzerland, Uruguay, Canada, and of course, right here in the US. You'll see me working with them and you'll learn lessons that are frequently shared across my clients, and you'll learn and see them shared in different ways. The reason I feel like this is going to be helpful for you is because if you're diagnosed with one of these alphabet syndromes, believe it or not, you're a lot like me and in ways that you don't know yet. And so as you watch these videos, if you see these individuals resonating with you, I want you to ask yourself, what's the reason for that? And as time goes on in 2027, I will release my book, Alphabet Syndromes, and you can learn my exact process, but you can garner quite a lot just from these videos. So without further ado, I want to jump into this lesson with my client. And I just want to give an thanks to all of the clients who have agreed to share for this series, because believe it or not, I work with hundreds of clients a year, and usually only about 20% of them will agree to be shared on any type of video platform. So it takes a lot of courage, and I just want to thank them outright. So here we go. Let's jump into this weekly lesson, and I hope you enjoy it. If you learn something from it or something resonates with you, please leave a comment below. If you hate me and you think my ideas are stupid, please also leave a comment below, and we'll have a discussion. Thank you guys so much for being here, and let's get right into it. Welcome, everyone, to Alphabet Syndrome's Lesson 2. First of all, I want to say thank you so much for the feedback on the first lesson. I can see that it's been really helpful for a lot of people, and I'm just honestly really excited about this series. There are a lot of gems when I'm working with my coaching clients that I think would be great opportunities for learning for other people who are watching these videos with alphabet syndromes like CRPS and others. To learn about themselves. And the reason for that is because we are, as you might have noticed in the last video, all very similar types of people. In fact, we share a personality in a lot of ways, and I will put some parameters of personality, that personality on the screen here. Now, granted, you're not going to fit this to the T, but I'm sure you can resonate with at least the majority of it. A lot of us with CRPS tend to take on leadership roles or are perfectionists to a certain extent. We are people who tend to people please at the sacrifice of ourselves. We tend to hold back anger or frustration or other emotions in order to help other people feel comfortable. And we tend to have a big problem saying no, even when it means sacrificing parts of us. That is definitely the case for myself and 100% the case for this client I'm about to show you, Cheyenne. Cheyenne is an amazing one of my clients. All of them are. And Cheyenne is one of my higher functioning clients. And what I mean by that is she plays collegiate level softball. But not only that, but she tends to take care of her family and her friends and her teammates to such an extent that it leads to her own detriment. And today I explore that with Cheyenne. I explore the way that she takes on the burdens of everyone around her at the expense of herself. I explore with her a technique that I use to help her find what she truly needs. And I help explain to her why we end up with illnesses like CRPS that are dubbed invisible illnesses. A big reason I feel like the name invisible illness has been given to a lot of these conditions, like CRPS, is because we all, deep down, have an unconscious desire to be seen and understood. And I don't mean seen in the form of like attention seeking or any of that nonsense. What I mean is we have a desire and need to be seen emotionally. And a lot of us, in our striving to be perfect or in our striving to people please, we put on a mask. And that mask makes it really hard for us to be seen. And so eventually, the more that we put on a mask and the more that we take on taking care of everyone else, eventually our body says, no more. Enough is enough. And pain comes to send us a message, to help us take time for ourselves, or to help us learn to say no. If we learn to listen to that message, if we learn to take care of ourselves in the way that we take care of others, very often I see, not only with myself, but also with my many clients, our pain starts to come down. And that is just one factor alongside, the physical factors of rebuilding our body that lead to relief from alphabet syndromes. So I'm going to show you Cheyenne today. We're going to be discussing the amount of caretaking that she does for her grandfather who is having some health troubles, her friends, and her teammates. We're going to be discussing a disagreement she had with a friend and how it led to some frustration and an increase in her pain. And we're going to discuss strategies to help her resolve that disagreement as well as calm her nervous system by reducing the obligations that she's given herself. You will see Cheyenne struggle with this identity of being a leader and taking care of everyone, and also the identity of needing to care for herself. I think this session will be really helpful, and I just want to say thanks to Cheyenne for allowing me to share it. I think it will show a lot of you that you actually do a lot of these things in your own life. Inabilities to say no, taking on too many obligations. Those are reasons for our nervous system to start to amp up until we reach a breaking point and start to have symptoms of alphabet syndromes. So without further ado, here is Cheyenne, and thank you, Cheyenne, very much for having the courage to share. I hope you enjoy Alphabet Syndrome's Lesson 2, titled Feeling Seen.
I know what I'm capable of. I know my personality is my strong suit. I know that I can walk into a room and change the entire vibe just based on a smile on my face and how I hold myself. Like I'm I'm very aware of that.
Yeah.
And I have had to become aware of that being a leader on a team, being a leader in a family, like I have had to become extremely aware of what your presence can do to other people around you. So knowing that when I'm going to see my granddaddy, I'm not just going for him. I'm going for him. I'm going for my Mimi. I'm going for my parents, for all of my little cousins. Like I go to make sure that he's good and so that my Mimi can get a little bit of relief and see him smile. He doesn't remember her name. Half the time he doesn't remember my name, but I'm one of the only ones that he still does remember in those brief moments. And so when I go, she gets to hear him laugh
Mm-hmm.
and see him smile and see him like have life behind his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
My little cousins, they only go when I go occasionally, but because when I go, I'm going to make him laugh because I'm going to make them dance around the room and we're going to tell stories and all of these things. And I hold it all together. Like I will literally be sitting in my truck just trying to build up the courage for it and then take my deep breaths, pull my shoulders back, and plaster a smile on my face. And like everyone thinks it's so real. And I'm not a good liar at all, but I've got everyone fooled with that. And then as soon as everyone is out of sight, you can't see me anymore, I break down every time. Every freaking time.
Mm-hmm. And so you go into a room and you brighten up the room and everything outside of you. And then what happens inside Cheyenne?
I think sometimes I convince myself that I'm happy
Mm-hmm.
because I'm pretending to be happy
Mm-hmm.
and I'm really not. It's not genuine. And I don't
Yep.
like that about myself because I have always been like a very, very happy person. Like no matter what was going on in life, I find the things to be thankful for. And my people, like my mom, she can see it. My coach, she can see it. My mom told me today, she's like, I can tell you've gotten a hell of a lot better at faking it. Like this is the best that you've ever done. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, you're not. Like, this isn't real. And she's right. And I
Yeah.
get that about myself, especially being someone who is very connected with themselves. And I never would want to be perceived as fake or dishonest or anything of that sort. And that makes me feel not true to myself when I do have to put these smiles on and like go pretend to be happy to convince my brain that I'm actually happy when in reality I'm like I just want to go lay in bed and not talk to anyone. I don't want to see anyone. Like don't want to be around anyone.
Yeah.
I told you I was going through it.
Yeah, and guess what? It's okay to want time to ourselves and not be around anyone. You know, Cheyenne, you're when we're not being true to ourselves in that way, the pain is literally ourself, little Cheyenne, saying, "I'm tired of this. Please help."
I agree.
Yeah. And I know that that's the case because when I talk to you, I can feel the facade because I talk to a lot of people who do this, like myself included, right? There are many times, and you weren't there after the 5K, right? But after the 5K race, we came back to the house, and do you know what I did? I felt pressure to stay around and be in front of people and be, smiling, all this kind of stuff. But then I remembered all this stuff that I learned the hard way because my body rebelled against me. It said stop. And I said, "Hey, I'm so glad you guys are here. I'm overwhelmed from this weekend. I'm going to take a nap." And I'd said it in a very
Yep.
dry and frustrated way, and everyone understood, and that was it. But the old me would have been like, sit there, put on a smile, do all this. And by the end of the day, I would have had a migraine headache and felt sick.
Like the I feel like you understand this and I don't know how to explain it to other people.
Yeah.
The sickness feeling is it's so hard to explain because it's not like you're actually sick. Like you throw up, you might feel nauseous, but it's a different type of feeling.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
You're
the
sick of
headaches that you
pretending
get.
is what you are.
Yeah. 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 It's a good way to put it.
Yeah. And
So I don't even know. I'm like so not able to think right now.
yeah. Well, I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to use vulgar language and put it bluntly. How do you start to, in a way, not give a
I don't know. I feel like the only way that I can figure out, and I feel like this is wrong, and I think that's where I'm having a problem.
right?
Like straight up, I think this is my problem because the only way I know how to not give a is to disassociate myself. And I'm not the type of person, I know who I am as a person. I don't need other people in my life, but I thrive when I'm around people.
Sure.
I don't do, I'm completely comfortable in sitting in silence with myself and like that's not the problem. But I do better when I have people around me because I'm a competitor
Right.
and I compete without people ever even noticing. Like I'm like, okay, I'm gonna like that's just how my brain works, and that's why I'm a successful athlete. But now it's like, okay, now I've put myself in this position where people look up to me or expect stuff from me, or I feel as though they expect stuff from me. And in reality, like, yes, do my coaches and my teammates and family members, everyone has high expectations from me because I have been successful. I get that. But not one person in that like that cares about me would ever be mad at me for not meeting an expectation. Like they would never be disappointed. All they would do is pick me up and give me love. Like so it's hard because I feel like the only thing to do is disassociate myself from people and like start cutting ties, but I don't want to do that.
So what I'm
I don't know if that
hearing
makes
here
sense.
is I like to be around people, but it is a but I but in order to recharge, I want to be away from certain people. And the reason that is because when you're around people, by your own admission, it's Halloween. You are playing a character, and that's exhausting. If you were actually around certain people, like there's certain people I probably agree you need to cut ties with, but if you were around people actually being Cheyenne, you wouldn't feel the need to get away and dissociate like that, right? I
Well,
realized this.
I agree. Go ahead. Migo? Okay. I agree to an extent where, like, last night, did not want to do anything. I was, like I said, in bed all day long.
Yeah.
I let myself be real with my friends, my roommates, like my people that I'm in the comfort of my own home. These are the people that see me. They see me after a practice. They know what the car ride like on the way home is like after I drop the smile and can like barely get in the car after a practice. So I like go out there and I'm like I'm going through it and I'm a big believer and I don't like to if I'm having an issue with someone, you might know that we're going through something, but you're not going to know the details of it because it's none of their business. So like they know something's not right with me and my best friend, and that's hard on me. They know what's going on in my family life. They understand that. But like I tried to be real and the responses that I got from them and then my friends when they convinced me to go hang out with everyone after I cried for like an hour and had to redo my makeup like 4 times because I didn't want to go. They were just like, I'm gonna need you to like be fun shy soon. Like I'm gonna need happy shy. Like this is really it's stressing me out that you're not happy right now. And I'm like, this is like the one time in a month, if not more, that you guys have seen me not smiling and like pretending like life is dandy.
Yeah.
And you're complaining about it instead of
Yeah.
like, hey, it's okay. Like, we got this. Like, they're expecting me to have that smile and like lead everyone. Like, okay, this is the plan. We're doing this, this, and this, and everyone's gonna be here, and I'm gonna be talking the whole time because that's what they expect. And we're gonna sing and we're gonna dance and we're gonna have a blast.
Mhm.
And I don't want to.
Yeah.
Just want to go cry.
Yeah. Yeah. So are they the safe spot for you anymore when they say something like that? Or did they have a moment where they messed
I
up
don't.
in their wording? You know?
No, I don't. I have learned more so in recent years since in college. There's people in your life that have different roles. You have friends in your life that are friends that you can have fun with. There's friends in your life that you can confide in. And it's to no fault of their own, but everyone's different, all of that. So like those are just friends that I know I can't like break down in front of. Like
Yeah.
I they would do anything for me. They're my girls. Like I call them, they're the first people that would be there. But when it comes to like emotions and stuff like that, they're not used to see like I'm straight up the loudest person in the room. I'm always talking, I'm always laughing. I'm always trying to make everyone else around me feel comfortable.
Exactly.
So that's so hard to do. So when I that slips, everyone feels uncomfortable
Right.
because they're like, this is weird. The vibe, Shy's vibe is off, which is the whole vibe. Like if I'm like, all right, we're gonna go listen to music and we're gonna karaoke and we're gonna do this and this and this. Not one person argues with me. Everyone's like, that sounds like so much fun. But if I don't plan it, or if I show up and I'm not in the best mood, it messes with everyone else's night. Like I straight up had to put on these sunglasses last night because I was like, everyone's gonna tell that I've been crying and it's gonna mess with everyone. I was at Ralph's, like the little hole in the wall place we hang out at, with light up sunglasses on and a drink in my hand like this. And everyone was like, yeah, shy ball. Just because I had to pretend.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm really ranting and I'm sorry.
No, this is good. That you need to do this. This is and finding people in your life, even outside of me, where you're able to do this without getting the feedback of, hey, just be happy. I'm not saying that they're flawed in doing that. I think you've trained them to react that way. Um, but what I'm saying is like you are quite literally you're wearing a mask, so you feel alone even with a room full of people because that's not
Yeah.
you, right? You are a great, amazing, energetic, fun, awesome, smart person and leader, but you're also a
Thank
lot
you.
of other things that other people don't get to see, and a lot of those things are actually some of your strengths. And so that when we say how do we make it stick, the way we make it stick is we start listening to what our body is actually trying to tell us. It was rage inducing that your best friend would ever even think about you being someone that would do that. And
Yes. My leg has not felt the same since.
yeah, because you are dealing with that anger and frustration and betrayal, right?
Yeah.
And and voicing that through the letter or to her directly eventually is going to be a thing that will help that leg calm down. Because guess what you need to do with her?
What?
Two things. Put your foot down, uh-huh, and stand up for yourself. Both of those things. That's why our leg is doing that.
I never have ever had a problem. I will be the first person to stand up for anybody else in the room.
Anybody
Never
else?
have
Yeah.
had a problem. Anybody else is the key words though.
Yep.
Like especially to her. Like we've like that's just never had to really be a thing, I guess. It's hard to do that with like that one person. Like she
Right.
she knows she has seen me at the absolute worst of worst and she besides probably my mom and dad and she probably knows me better. She knows what I'm genuinely like when I'm genuinely happy. So she can see through it very well. And like not having that person there is really, really hard. Like going through all of this and wanting to pick up the phone and be like, can you believe this? And be like, wait, it's you. Like your problem right now. I can't even call her. Like she was there when she's the first person I told. I was like, I think I rest. Like there's an issue and I'm not happy. I'm very sad all the time. And I would never do anything to myself ever, but I just don't feel like waking up.
Mm,
Like I think about what's it gonna be like if I just don't wake up?
mm.
I'll be out of pain. No one will have to deal with me. Like again, would never do that.
Right.
But it's hard to be in all of this pain and have these emotions and thoughts going through you and not think something like that.
Sure. Yeah, I've been there for sure. When I remember when I was going through this stuff, and even after I lost my mom, my girlfriend at the time, she said, I'm tired of you being sad all the time. What kind of message do you think that gives? Same with your friends when they said, okay, time to be happy, shine now. Because we put on this front for so long. Jim Carrey has a good reference of this. It's basically your body saying, enough. I'm tired of playing this character.
The one thing, like people talk about depression all the time, the difference between depression and sadness is sadness is just, from happenstance, whatever happened or didn't happen for you. And depression is your body saying, fuck you, I don't want to be this character anymore. I don't want to hold up this avatar that you've created in the world. It's too much for me. So a friend of mine who's a spiritual teacher has a really good take. His name is Jeff Foster. His take on it is that they should change. You should think of the word of depressed as deep rest. Deep rest. Your body needs to be depressed. It needs deep rest from the character that you've been trying to play.
So this communication starting point, action items, right? This letter, maybe call her and vent to her as if she's someone, as if you're venting about someone else. Say, hey, this girl I've been friends with for a really long time. And can you believe that? Right? So, I'm not saying that's the thing to do, but I'm saying like, maybe that's a way to break into, right? Like, hey, this girl who you don't know did this, and then you say exactly what she did. And just maybe you have to go off on her a little bit. Might be a way to let off some of that. You said I'm hot. That let off some of that steam, right? That's
Yeah, no, like the emotions are crazy because I'm just like so heartbroken and sad and like just
sure.
confused. And then I'm pissed and I want to rip into her. Like, are
Yes.
you freaking stupid?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
So, yes.
That that might be what you need to do. Or, if you don't feel comfortable doing that to you, get something to hit something else and go beat something up. Not her, but like a pillow or
Awful.
on a couch. Yeah, yeah, whatever. But like the thing is, Cheyenne, is the entire time that we've worked together, if you look over the span of our sessions, there's been a very clear theme here. Setting boundaries for yourself, right? Learning what you need to let go of as far as responsibilities go, right? Because I think you just keep adding them out of obligation. You did great with this nannying thing and not doing that. That's good. Um,
Right?
and and re
Progress.
right, and reducing the pressures on yourself. And then a final one today, which I think comes full circle. The reason we get invisible illnesses is, do you know what that is?
It's our body telling us, like, hey, you can't handle this.
Right. So it's a deep subconscious desire to feel seen. You've been wearing this mask and playing this role for so long that you feel like no one can see you and what you're going through. John Cena, right? But
Yeah,
like
I was gonna say it, but I didn't.
right, but like it's like that. It's like you're behind that mask, and no one can actually see you. And that's the problem. That is why in a lot of my videos I will finish it with I see you. It's because I am the same type of person. I understand exactly what you're doing and what you're going through. And so the way you make it stick, Cheyenne, is we need to start figuring out how to show up for ourselves. And so let's imagine a little Cheyenne is next to you and she's got her hand in holding onto your pocket. Okay? Where is she
Hmm.
pulling you next? What does she want?
Let's go give my mom a hug.
There's a start. There's a start. And you see if you listen to that more because she's in there screaming. She's literally lighting your leg on fire so you pay attention to her. If you listen to
Yeah.
that more, you will find healing. I firmly believe that.
What's crazy is you just said that like hand in my pocket or whatever thing, and in my head I'm sitting here right now and I was like, okay, if I were standing up, she would be on this side of me, and where my pocket would be in my head is like where the part my pain starts.
Exactly.
Like where she would be like, I don't know if it's just because of like the age in my head that I imagine I'm at
Yeah.
when you say little Cheyenne, but like that was impressive. That was deep. That was a good one. That was impressive. I'll give it to you.
That's her. That's what I imagine when I feel like I need something. Instead of thinking of how would this make me a better athlete or person or what do I do that's the most efficient? How do I set my time? I'm like, I think of little me and I'm like, what do you want? He wants usually a s'more on the stove or something
Yeah, I
really
mean that.
silly.
No, but like I'm excited to start thinking like that and using that tool because little Cheyenne had a lot of big dreams.
Yes, she did. And and you know what? You are real if there was a little Cheyenne, knowing the type of person you are, you would take the best care of her. And and you're really bad at taking care of yourself. So it's nice to pretend that there's a little one for us to take care of,
Yeah.
right? You've been taking care of everybody else for so long. It's time to show up for you or her, however you need to frame it.
Dang it. You got me crying.
Yeah.
Really thought I was gonna like get through it without tears flowing.
I know.
Try.
Gosh darn it. We let out our emotions. Who would have thunk?
Who would have thunk?
Yeah. Seriously though, you deserve all the care that you've been given to everybody else, and I think you give it to them because it's what you need the most.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Like you're saying this and I'm just thinking of like examples with my friends. Like I've been killing myself the past 2 weeks because it's some of my teammates' birthdays and I don't know how to say no. So since my freshman year, every teammate, if they ask me for a dessert, like they know if they say, "Oh, I want this cake for my birthday," I'm gonna bake it from scratch and like do all the things and make sure that it's special. And like my roommate, she's turning 21, so I'm trying to go all out for her. And like, no one else is doing this. Why am I doing this? Not one other. I have 26 girls on my team. Why am I the only one doing this stuff?
I don't know.
All right, well, maybe I need to do better at that too.
Well,
That's a
yeah.
boundary. That's a boundary that I can set up.
Yeah. Hey, I've got a lot going on right now, actually. I can't do the cake this year.
Yeah.
Or I can do the cake, but I'm just gonna order one.
Yeah. Well, and like baking is like a stress relief for me
Sure.
because it's like an experiment. Like I know the basic you have the basics of what you're doing and then everything else like it's up to you kind of and
Yeah.
like that challenge. But it's also nice where I can just like if I mess up, I mess up. There's no pressure to it. Like I just bake it again.
Yeah.
But it hasn't recently it hasn't become fun anymore. Like damn it, I have to go make those cupcakes. And like I
Yes.
get stressed about it instead of like something that used to be my escape has now become another stressor in my life.
Another obligation.
Yeah. And it's such a little thing too. Like it shouldn't be a big deal at all. It's
Right.
just that all of these little things like add up and add up and add up. I'm very, very excited. I told you a lot that I like to read and that's like a good escape. And I have been making sure every day that I make time for myself to go and read for like 30 minutes, whether I get really far, if I don't get very far, if I don't feel good, it's as soon as I like pick it up and start reading, I feel like I can escape into whatever world I'm reading about and just be there. And then I'll either have like my Jesus music on in the background or something that like doesn't get me amped up.
Hmm.
It's something like super calm and I feel like that's probably one of the only things that's gotten me through these past like 2 weeks is
Yeah.
just like because I was like I can't handle people and like if I say my roommates know I'm like a nerd when it comes to books and stuff. So like they don't question it when I'm like, "Oh, no, I'm gonna go read. I'm almost done with this chapter. Like, got to figure out what happens."
Yeah.
And no one really questions me when I do that.
Yeah.
So that's been my escape recently.
I
But
like that. And I think that baking can become your escape again as well. It's just that, so for example, I love photography and I just love to do it. They're my own little projects. I try to I think of a phrase or a poem or something and then I want to craft a photo around it, right? But the few times, like 3 times that I've actually been hired to do photography, I hated every minute of it.
it's not fun.
Yeah, and I realized that the enjoyment that I get from photography is for me. It's not doing it for someone else. And so I'll never uh sell myself that hobby of mine for someone or do it, even as a favor for a birthday or something. I won't do that either. Because I just want it to be an art for me, an escape for me. And so that's what happens with baking too. You love baking, but then you think, well, I'm going to do it, for other people, and then you have obligations, and that makes it less fun. And so, yeah, case in point,
So I don't know how to cook. Yeah, like I make one person a birthday cake 5 years ago, and now everyone's like, "Oh, I want this one for my birthday. Oh, I want this one," and then I
yeah,
just never said no.
yeah, you
While
you
I'm
you
baking like 27 cakes in a year.
yeah,
That's insane. That's insane. What?
right. Do you see? Like, if so, think of it this way, Cheyenne. Think of that obligation, And then think of everything that you're doing and think of any other person ever doing all that stuff. Is it insane or no?
Yeah, it's pretty insane because like the numbers wise, like that's just teammates. That's not including other friends that I have. That puts me in, which would make sense. I bake something. I don't half the time eat it. I have baked something like almost every week probably since my freshman year for other people.
Yeah,
Half of it I don't even eat it.
so here's the thing, Cheyenne. You don't just do that with baking. You do that with everything in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's no wonder that little Cheyenne is literally lighting you on fire to get you to stop. I have
Yeah,
so
she
many,
freaking put a match in my pocket. That's what she did.
right, and I have so many clients that are caretakers in this way, taking care of everyone else around them except for themselves. And the exact same thing happens. And what we do is we don't stop. We keep going, and then the pain gets worse and worse and worse. And that is why right now, at this breaking point, you are having this massive flare. It's literally like, okay, we have to stop. We have to.
Yes.
And so imagine the relief that you would have if the baking obligation dropped away, if these other obligations dropped away, if we went three less times on this really long drive and that dropped away. Just imagine your body just finally relaxing. That is what life can be like all the time.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy to think about.
That's what my life is like. It's pretty,
Well, I'm just like I've never told a teammate no. Like I if they need me to stay after and help like even the girls that play the same position as me, I will sit there and hit them ground balls, I'll throw to them, and then I'll have lessons right afterwards, and then I'll go home and cook, and then I'll do whatever for everyone else. And that's just like part of the day. I would never say no because I drive more than anyone else. I'm like, okay, yeah, get in, I'll drive. No worries, I got it. And that's so stressful, like worrying about everyone at all times.
yeah. And when you can't say no, do you know what happens?
What?
Your body says no for you. Ironically
Yes.
enough, that's one of the main books in my course. It's literally titled When the Body Says No.
It's a good one.
Um, yeah, this is so right after this, Cheyenne, you're gonna go give who a hug.
My mom.
Yes. And then I want you to ask little Cheyenne throughout this next week or two, what does she need? And I want you to listen.
Okay.
And you'll be
I think I
surprised.
can do
Good. You'll be
uh,
surprised. The world will get brighter.
good because it's looking real dull right now.
I know.
I
You
need
can't,
all the vibrant colors back.
you can't even imagine how vibrant it'll look if you do this. So finish that letter, give mom a hug, okay? And I want you to listen to little Cheyenne a little bit more. And lastly, I am starting a new series on my YouTube that is like mini lessons. I'd like to just include a clip, maybe 3 or 5 minutes from this. I'll keep it, impersonal, of course. But
No, you're good.
maybe just about little Cheyenne, that, that part. I think it'd be good for other people to hear. Would you be open to that?
Yeah, absolutely. As long as I'm helping other people, you
You're
know
cool.
it.
I love it. I love it. Okay. And
Well,
then you can watch it back to learn to listen again if you forget.
that's a good point. Yeah, whenever you do it, send me the link to it.
I will for sure. Yeah, I've got about like five planned over the next 5 weeks so far. But
Okay.
it's going to be a running series because I think short form content's good for people to learn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree with that.
yeah,
Well, I already feel better. I'm glad that we have a plan.
yeah,
I'm really ready to just go. I know that I'm gonna go in there and have like a little bit of a meltdown, which I think is much needed and deserved.
yeah,
And then I feel like little Cheyenne's gonna tell me to suck it up and let's go figure out what else we're gonna do with our life.
yeah. I like it. And when you're having the meltdown and mom asks what's going on, say, Coach Chase said I need to do this.
I will. I
Per-
will.
Perfect.
He told me I could cry, so I'm crying.
Yes. So give me text me throughout these next 2 weeks if you're having a rough time. That's why I'm here.
I know. I have a hard time doing that, but I will try.
I know. I'm the literal place where that is so welcome.
I will let you know. I'm very excited. I'm a little nervous, but I'm very excited going to Alabama. I'm not nervous about playing. I'm nervous about being stuck sitting for like 7 hours or however long it is, because that's a lot. I hate it. It hurts so bad. But I'll keep you updated through all of that. Hopefully, hopefully we go to Alabama and I hit a bomb and then I'm just cured. I think that's what's gonna happen.
We'll put it out there. We're putting that in the universe.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Alabama. My team is gonna win all 6 games.
Yep.
I'm gonna hit a nuke
Yep. Yep.
and I'm gonna start my season pain free.
I'm in. Let's do it.
Little Cheyenne just told me that, so that's what we're going with.
All right. Little Cheyenne's dreaming. I love it.
All right, thank you. I'll talk to you in 2 weeks.
All right. See you, Cheyenne. Bye.
Bye.
Well, since I am late to the response, how'd it go? What happened? I'm glad that you did it, I'm guessing. And I'm also glad that you recognized the pain starting as you were about to confront these emotions. The more you recognize this pattern, the less you need the pain. And the more you take action to confront these things, the more the pain will just disappear. So yeah, this is in living form exact proof of why I call this pain a power. It is sending you a message to do something that is going to benefit you and others in the long run, even if it went horrendously yesterday. So update me, how'd it go? I'm excited to hear.
So it went good. I actually, when I had texted you, I then got a call from my coach and I had to go back to the field, so I wasn't able to call her right then, but I called her yesterday evening and it was definitely a really, really tough conversation to have. And we're good, but I'm still a little upset about some things and I tried to like get those off my chest. I could feel right before I started talking, my pain like spiked tremendously. I was super, super anxious and like, I don't know how to explain it. It was really, really bad. And then as I started talking to her, even when we weren't agreeing, like we had a great mature conversation and there was no yelling or anything like that. So as we were talking, even in the moments where we weren't agreeing, I could feel the pain like slowly dissipating, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I feel better today.
I'm
Hey,
back. Thanks for switching days. I appreciate it.
no, thanks for being able to let me go 5 minutes later. I was driving back to the house. I was like, I am not gonna make it home in time.
You're good. I'm interested to see updates. How have you been since we last chatted?
I feel so much more at peace.
Wow. Okay. I like that.
Little Cheyenne and I have been walking around
Yeah.
doing a lot.